Alright, we all know why we're here. We're here because the loot pinata is winning the war against the raiders, and we keep wiping. Like this guy, he dropped liquid gold in, wiped the raid. So we want less of that, and more of getting the loot pinata made out of literal gold. So how do we do that? Well, people die to things. What are those things? Well, first thing people die to is crush. And by that, I mean they're not respecting its cast animation. You can see here when it hits the ground, it's a very wide angle, and starts at the back of the feet. That means if you're ranged, you can just outrange it by standing far away. See here, I'm just outside the edge, about 15 yards, doesn't touch me at all. Otherwise, if you're melee, or on the Flames of Punishment side, you just need to be behind his back foot, even if that means walking into other danger. Crush will kill you, other things won't. Now, the next thing that often kills players is Flame Jet. This is often when comboed with another ability, so you always need to be looking at the sides of the walls to see where these jets are coming. You have a good 2 seconds once they open up towards where the next flyer is coming. So you should always be on the lookout to see if you can keep it in your frame so you can see gates open up, move out of the way, no damage. There's always enough time to taking from damage from flame jets is always avoidable unless it doubles up with something else. Often Flames of Punishment. Now that being said, there's good ways and bad ways to try to prepare for Flame Jet. This is actually a bad way, even though I'm looking to see where the jets are coming from. Because I'm starting from the back of the room, if those 3 jets opened up on the first half of the room, I would have taken damage guaranteed. I was just lucky that time. You can see that here, where I also try to cheat by getting more casts and not moving preemptively. All 3 gates open up, and you're taking Flame Jet damage. If I had Volatile Charge, might have died there. So just move ahead, and don't get caught at the beginning or edges of the room when Flame Jets are happening. Now here you can see me doing it the proper way, ahead of time, looking to see where I am. Flame Jets open up, and in the center of the room, have to move 5 inches, or not even in this case. Crush happens, and I'm in a safe spot. Flame Jets move, don't take any damage. Even this can also happen when you're doing Chaotic Displacement, in which case, once you're in the room, just spin around, look around where the Flame Jets, so there they are, don't have to move, I'm safe. Gotta be aware. Now the lasers are probably the most confusing ability for a lot of people, especially when comboed with Flames of Punishment. The way we are handling this is we start the boss in the back of the room, whoever gets it tries to keep the laser tight in a corner, then once that's done we just move the boss away from that little flame patch area that we have. So there the second one comes out, and we preemptively just move the boss away, so that person can keep painting their patch and not becoming an issue to anyone else. Now for the person who actually has the laser, what you want to do is come in at the last second. So see this person here is keeping the laser in a tight corner. Then once Flames and Punishment's about to hit him, he runs into the group. The laser still trails him, but because it's lagging behind him, it doesn't quite hit the raid. Even if it did, it would have been very little damage, so much better that than stacking immediately. Now what's also important is proper pre-positioning before the laser even comes out. Obviously your melee, you're still going to be on the back foot, but all range should try to inch their way towards the previous room that you just came from. This way if laser comes, it's going to be far away from where we need to bring the boss or where the rest of the raid is standing. So in this case, a melee gets it, they actually pop a defensive tank it, but because I'm back here as a range and the person next to me as well, when they get targeted by the laser, it's going to be far away from the boss, so when they come in, the laser, even if it trails him, is never going to get to the raid. Now you should come in at the last second that you can before Flames of Punishment would hit you. That person cheated a little bit late because they're a monk, but don't cut it close if you don't have high movement ability. It's better the raid takes a little bit of laser damage than you dying out to Flames of Punishment. So even here, after the Flames of Punishment happens, the laser's there. You can walk over it and you're not going to die immediately. So the big thing with Hex is the timing. The timing comes out at the same time, every fight. Once you're in the second laser room, the first laser cast is going to happen. Once the first beam is visible, in 3 seconds, hexes come out. An important thing as a DPS is do not move even if this overlaps with something like you're the one targeted with the laser. The healers have to get to you, and since the time is exact, you should be able to get it down to within less than half a second. Again, if you're DPS, don't move, let the healers take care of you. Now, Volatile Charge often doesn't kill anyone off the bat. It's often when it's combined with another ability. So the main thing with Volatile Charge is just to be aware. Looking around to see if it's going to overlap with like a Crush. You need to move out of the way of it. Otherwise, just try to be at the back and sides of the wall so you're not going to hit someone else. If you're in the Flame Jet room, you can try to pair up on the side with the Flame Jet so you can see where you need to move so you don't get double damage from Flame Jets and Volatile Charge. Now everyone's favorite ability, Flames of Punishment. Most important thing here is don't get hit by Flames of Punishment. That could mean getting hit by Flame Jet. It could mean walking over the fire on the ground. It could mean getting hit by the laser. You don't get hit by Flames of Punishment, or you die. So what this means is always stacking on his left foot, and come as close as you can, but don't get inside the mod or you also might get hit. It's a tough balance, but you can see where I am right here. This is usually a good distance where you're never really going to get outrun by it. Maybe a little bit closer. But again, it's left foot because you want to have a little bit of a lead ahead of it, particularly on the last room where it becomes much larger. So you want to be on that left foot as best you can, because if you're on the right foot, there's a very strong chance you can clip by the Flames of Punishment there. Now if you're on the other side of that transportation and you get teleported into Flames of Punishment, do the same thing, just don't move until it's over. Just wait the full 10 seconds for the dot to expire, you'll be fine. The last main thing that will potentially wipe the raid is Liquid Gold. Number one rule of Liquid Gold is get the hell out of raid. Doesn't matter what you're doing, what you're DPSing. When the phase starts, 2 Liquid Golds come out. About 5 seconds later, 2 more Liquid Golds come out. Third set of Liquid Golds come out. These people can stay a second to help tank the first coin shower, but other than that, it's just immediately running out and getting as far out as you possibly can. Because as you can see here, it's eventually going to cover every single platform available in the room. It does shrink at times, so you can try to get it a little bit further down the path there. You still want to try to stay in range of heals who should be trailing you, but just try to get as deep as you can, because once Surging Gold happens, as you can see here, it all just expands back out again. So again, as far as you can as possible into the bridges, and then in the corners, and that's usually pretty good. Now eventually it's just going to become a giant rotation of people bringing Liquid Golds out, coming back in and doing DPS after they dropped off their Liquid Gold. You can see here there's just a massive assembly line of people running Liquid Golds out, the old people coming back in, while still keeping good damage up on the boss. After that, it just becomes a race to kill the boss before you run out of room on the floor or run out of DPS due to coin shower. So, everyone now knows the mechanics, they now know the common ways of not dying on this fight in the hallway or wiping the raid in the final room. Let's kill this thing.